shit. It's always terrible when that happens.
I want to sing along. This looks like a job for me, so everybody come follow me, because we need a little controversy, because I feel so empty without me.
Anyway, ahoy hoy, I'm Planet Walk, and welcome to Planet Talk Episode 4. I really need to do more of these, which is good, because I'm now doing a couple more that... Because
Lazy.
Yeah. And today we have Dusty Smith on from the Cult of Dusty, so I'm just going to switch over to the... And everything's working fine now, so welcome on, Dusty. How's it going?
Awesome, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty good myself. So, there's a few things that I do want to talk about, and unfortunately I've forgotten most of them, so...
It's alright, I'll help you out. Gotcha Boys. Want to talk about the Gotcha Boys, the new controversy in my life right now?
Oh yeah, that'd
be one of the first things, I'm sure.
I didn't actually want to talk too much about that because, well, here's the thing. I like trying to make these entertaining, you know, and
Mistake number one.
yeah. So these things are mostly entertaining. There may be a few serious subjects later on, and we'll touch on those, but you know, it's when it comes down to it, it's mostly, I suppose you could say that we're the talent of this show, and the talent has to make things entertaining. So, and people are saying,
I don't know nothing about that now.
people are saying Dusty looks a bit frozen, and we've been having technical difficulties. Maybe it might help actually if I just give me a few seconds. This might help something.
I heard that you settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I'll give you background music while you're going. I heard.
Okay, well. Okay, so that might help. You there, Dusty? Okay, you need to turn your camera back on because I Okay, hopefully that helps. Okay, it looks good on my end, so so yeah, I do want to there is one thing that I want to talk about. So because okay, is there anything?
No, I was just saying one thing you want to talk about. I was just backing
okay,
up.
So one thing that a lot of people often say to you is that you're irrelevant and everything, right? And
Hell yeah, I'm totally irrelevant.
And so I've thought of one way that you could just absolutely shill your channel to gain relevancy. And I mean...
Okay, that sounds awful, but okay.
So have you heard about flat earthers?
I have heard about flat earth.
Okay, so that's... From what I can tell, that's probably the big popular thing on YouTube these days.
Dunking on flat earthers.
So if you ever want to, you know, increase your relevancy, just talk about them for a bit. I'm sure people will love that.
All I have to do is talk about social justice warriors. That's all you have to do. You can make $1 million just talk about social justice warriors all day long. It's so simple. Just that I don't really want to be relevant to those people, so I don't try to be relevant to those people. Like, really, all I have to do is make content. Like, I make like a video a month, like a regular video, besides my podcast a month. So all I have to do is like make a video a week to be relevant. It's just like, I don't really care about fame or all that stuff. It's kind of a hassle, so I just kind of stick to myself and do what I want to when I want to do it, and not really worry about it too much. Like, if I'm so irrelevant, why are y'all talking about me? You know, usually when things are relevant, you just ignore them. That's what I do.
That is what I do find really odd. It is one of these things where a lot of people like Sargon or something will say, "Oh, Dusty's irrelevant," and you know, if someone's so irrelevant, you wouldn't really say anything about them because they're irrelevant, you know. So
no reason to keep talking about me. That's how relevant I am, which is fine. Like, if they don't think I'm irrelevant, it doesn't bother me. I mean, just ad hominem. I've been dealing with it my whole life. It's been 10 years of ad hominems every day of my life from wake till sleep. So after a while, you just kind of get used to
Yeah.
it.
And I do find that after a while of being on the internet, you do sort of gain a thick skin. So, you know,
Yeah, you have to get a thick skin. You can't do this if you don't have a thick skin. People are gonna shit on you. Even if you're perfect, people still gonna shit on you out of jealousy. So might as well not worry about it too
yeah.
much.
I mean, people say, people leave like comments which are, to a normal person they'd be insulting, but to me it's just really hilarious, these comments.
Yeah, like soy boy. Ooh, you care about animals, not enough to eat them. Like, yeah, that seems like a good thing. It's like you're complimenting
That
me.
was
It's too absurd to take offense
that
to.
was actually something that I did want to bring up, because you seem to have taken on this label of soy boy so much that you've actually become vegetarian.
Yep, I'm a soy boy cuck, beta cuck, definitely. I mainly just eat veggies all day while black guys have sex with my girlfriend in the other room. So that's my life now. It's pretty
Doesn't
cool.
sound too bad, honestly.
Nah, I get to watch sometimes, so it's all right.
Yeah.
I won't cry about it.
One of the annoying things that I have found, though, is because I have tried to sort of move away from meat, but I like bacon too much. And you actually found some bacon that was vegetarian, right?
Yeah, they have veggie bacon, and it's like in the frozen food section next to the vegetables. It doesn't taste exact like if you're eating it by itself, it doesn't taste exactly the same. But if you're eating it in stuff or like in BLTs or stuff, it's not too bad. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
But
There's a lot more options.
one
Go
of
ahead,
the
sorry.
annoying things here is that we don't have all those options. Like I've got actually, I'll just go get what I've got over on the shelf there. 1 second.
All right. Subscribe to Planet Talk and watch his content. Sorry, just reading your stuff.
So,
Where do you
I
live?
live in New Zealand.
Oh shit, where Tim is? Tim Blake.
Yeah, I should try and get him on for one of these podcasts.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I'll probably come on and talk to you.
But yeah, anyway, I've got this stuff here, which is textured.
Looks like Rice
It's
Krispies.
textured soy protein. It works really well in if you want to have something like spaghetti bolognese or nachos.
You guys don't have Walmart there?
No, we don't have Walmart.
What? No Walmart in New Zealand? Fuck Walmart. Get your shit together, dude. I need some Walmarts in New Zealand. That's the only place to shop around here. But even Walmart in Mississippi has a small vegetarian aisle, but it's got some good stuff there.
Yeah,
The bean burgers are actually really good. They're actually more flavorful, in my opinion, than regular burgers. So I actually prefer them.
I have actually.
And the chicken nuggets are actually better, in my opinion. They're better than real chicken nuggets, in my opinion. So there's actually some good vegetarian food that's way better than the real stuff, in my opinion.
I have tried falafel. It tastes all right, but it's not something that I can eat as much as a sort of regular meat patty. I don't know. It's just one of
Falafel?
Yeah.
What you said? Yeah, never had that.
yeah.
No, the stuff we have here is not that disgusting. It really tastes pretty close. Like I said, the chicken nuggets taste even better than regular chicken nuggets. You can't even tell the difference. And like the burger patties that they have here, they taste better than regular beef. And so it's pretty good selection here. It's too bad you guys don't have that there. I'm sure there's like got to be some kind of shop there or something that has some veggie food that they import from the States or.
Well, there is this place nearby which does have. It's where I actually got this. I used to have.
Yeah, that looks terrible. What the hell is that?
It's
Throw that away, dude. That's terrible. Need to get you some real veggie food. Nothing you have to make. Like pre-packaged, easy to make. Put it in the microwave. Simple. Makes your life easier. That looks really difficult.
Well, this is essentially you put a whole lot of hot water in this and mix it up, and it works well as mince. Doesn't quite taste the same, but you can get
Like a meat
yeah,
substitute.
it's a meat substitute, and if you've got flavoring, like I had it in nachos. Now I could taste a bit of difference when I had it in nachos, but the next day I couldn't taste the difference.
Yeah, that's the way it was with me when I made my tacos. Put taco seasoning on it, and at first you can tell the difference, but like leave it overnight in the refrigerator, and it like mixes together real good. And you can't even tell the difference anymore. So it just has to absorb that flavor of whatever it is.
Yeah, and yeah, it does take a while to get used to sort of different options. I find because because you've probably a lot of people I find have been sort of brought up on meat, so when they try something different, it tastes completely different to them. But it's only because they were brought up on meat, and at least in my opinion.
Yeah, people hate new things and they hate change, but no, change is inevitable. So you might as well just get used to it.
Yeah,
And once you get into it, it's not that bad. And actually, you're doing good not only for yourself, but the earth and also animal suffering. So it's win win
yeah,
win. So even if you can't completely become a vegetarian, just replacing a couple of meals a week for vegetarian, every little bit helps and adds up. So I definitely encourage people to do that.
yeah, and that's what I actually started sort of moving towards vegetarianism when I was in Australia, because the place that I went to, I mean, that's the first time I heard that butter had a substitute for olive butter or something like that.
Like
Yeah.
margarine, yeah, more vegetable based, but yeah, margarine's a good substitute. We have that lots of that in the states. Probably mostly what we eat in the states is margarine. Butter is actually really expensive.
Yeah. But yeah, I just find that there's a few things that you can do, and I've been trying to take steps towards it, but I've still got a pack of bacon in the freezer, so
It's hard. It's hard to do. Just gotta either make up your mind and do it, or just do a little bit at a time. But I'm kind of a person that just goes all in. Like when I decide to do something, like I decide to stop drinking, I just boom, don't ever fucking drink again. I decide to lose weight, boom, starve myself till I'm thin. Just I kind of go to extremes with it. So when I decided to go vegetarian, it's just boom, I'm just gonna fucking do it, and I just did it. So it wasn't really that hard.
that's always great. Oh, and I just realized that I have a member.
Right. Welcome, member.
Uh,
They got some questions for me. Is there a chat
oh
I can
yeah,
look
there is a chat. I sent you the thing on Twitter, the link to the stream on
okay.
Twitter. So there's a live chat there. So
Okay. Okay. Let me go click on it. You can keep talking.
yeah.
I'll go click on it at the back. Twitter.
So one thing you also did is you recently had a bit of an argument with Count Dankula, the guy that had that Nazi pug.
Yep. Count Donkula is like he's a dull crayon. Only reason he's famous is because some idiots decided to prosecute him over something stupid. If it wasn't for that, nobody would have heard of that dude. So I want to go back to the time where nobody heard of that dude.
And I actually do agree with you that it was because of the whole Nazi pug thing, and some people decided to prosecute him. I don't think that he should have been prosecuted, honestly, and it's fine to sort of get publicity for someone because they're being unfairly prosecuted, but then the problem with that is a lot of people don't really know about, what that person. A lot of people may not know about what that person believes and stuff like that. And it does seem that he has sort of fallen for all this great replacement stuff. Maybe not, but because he did say something about. Didn't he say he didn't know about it or something?
Well, that's what he says, but that's bullshit. He has a huge fan base that's constantly spreading that, and he hangs out with people that spreads that. So to say he has no knowledge of it is just really silly. He just didn't want to answer the question because he knows if he answers the question, it's going to alienate a lot of his fan base and a lot of his friends and shit. He doesn't want to lose that sweet, sweet Patreon money because he's a shill. So yeah, that's the reason he didn't answer it. But he was just playing dumb and hoping I'd forget about the question and move on to something else. But I don't do that because I see right through you, motherfucker. You're glass. You're glass to me.
Yeah. It actually reminds me of a debate that I was a bit of a debate that I was having last night before bed. I was asking this person a simple question, and he just did not answer the question. And I was asking him what is the formula for perspective? And he just didn't answer it. So that was annoying.
Yeah, it's frustrating when these guys won't answer your questions, but it makes it obvious what they're doing. They're just being weasels and trying to get away with it, and you can't really let them. You gotta. I'm not answering another one of your questions until you answer this one simple question that I have. Because all I want to do is ask you new questions to make you move on with the conversation in hopes that you'll forget about what you asked them. But it's a very obvious debate tactic that, when you see through it, you can nip it in the bud.
But yeah, the question that I do want to ask is because you've got an animal sanctuary, so you want to adopt a Nazi pug there?
I'll adopt a pug. I got no problem with pugs. Like I can teach it not to be a Nazi. Like I feel the same way about kids. They're like, oh my God, there's too many Muslim kids going to be born or whatever. I don't care what family they're born into. Give me access to their minds. I can reprogram them. So, same thing with the pug. I can un-Nazi a pug. I like them. They're
Yeah.
cute.
I mean, that's actually what gets me about so much of this this whole white replacement sort of thing, right? And it's like, well, are these people really so different? You know, if is a black person really so different to a white person? You know, is
Totally different. I live in an all black neighborhood. It's like I'm living on a different planet. Not really. It's exactly the fucking same. Like if anything, I'm the worst neighbor here. So like all my neighbors are really nice, and it's just like like Joe Rogan talking about who I went to all black neighborhood. It was like walking into the Planet of the Apes. Like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you saying that? That's so terrible. No, it's not. It's exactly the same as anywhere else.
yeah, it's because if we talk about people's values, a lot of people seem to hold the same values with whether they're black, white, Asian, you know.
I mean, there are slight cultural differences, but nothing major. I mean, all our cultures basically blend together, so it's all a big one melting pot anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, there are certain things black people do that white people might find odd. Like, I don't know if most people know that, but like a lot of black people don't say bye when they're doing their phone conversations. They just hang up.
Okay.
And so when the white people are not used to that, they're like, "Holy shit, that black person just hung up on me." They're rude, but no, that's not rude. It's just what they do. That's what they're saying, and they hang
Yeah.
up. Which slight cultural differences, but it's nothing that's big of a deal or anything.
Yeah. Like, I that actually brings me to something else that I haven't talked about in a while, and that is cultural appropriation. And
Culture appropriation. I don't believe in culture
yeah,
appropriation.
I actually think that cultural appropriation is good, is a good thing. You know, if let's say that. Let's say you're in America and you want to have tacos. I believe that you should be able to have tacos, and I believe that if there's a Mexican taco joint around, then that could be good for some people that need work. You know.
Yeah, culture doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to everybody, and it all mixes together. And we should be taking the best of all cultures to make the alpha culture of all the cultures, instead of trying to have us all departmentalized off in our own little sections, which is stupid. We all join together, and the best of the best makes the best system.
And also living in a place like New Zealand, there's a lot of cultures in New Zealand. So
Yeah, the narrow way, is that how they
the
pronounce
what?
that? The narrow way, the ones that have the girls have the stuff on their face. You know what I'm talking about, the tribal
Oh,
people. Starts with an N.
starts with M, and it's Maori.
And more. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I met a girl from New Zealand one time, and then she was from one of those tribes where they have tattoos on their chins and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Is that right? Or am I just making
Oh,
this up?
you're right. So
Okay.
yeah, there's tattoos on the face, and that's called a moko.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what it was. She didn't have them, but she was telling me about her relatives, and she was super hot. And I was like, don't get tattoos on the face. You're so hot. Please don't ruin that face with tattoos. It's a tribal thing, a cultural thing, I understand. But at the same time, don't do that, girl,
Yeah.
please. Like, ruining artwork.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of tattoos myself, and people have said
I don't know.
people have said to me, "Oh, you should get tattoos," and I'm like, "Nah, I don't want tattoos."
No, me either. Everybody's got tattoos today. It's kind of become trendy. Once it becomes trendy, it's like,
Yeah,
I'm too much of a hipster for that.
yeah, and like it hurt as well, and I don't like pain. People may call me a pussy for that, but I just don't like having to deal with pain.
No, me either. That's why I don't get in fights. When you get in fights, people tend to punch you. Hell no to that. That hurts. So
Yeah,
I stay out of fucking fights, man. I don't have anything to prove to you. You ain't got nothing to prove to me. Just fuck off and leave me alone.
but to be fair to me though, most of my upper body is sore because I went to the gym the other day, and I'm not used to going to the gym, so but that'll pass.
Don't get swole.
That'll
Don't get swole, bro. Have to buy some tickets to the gun show.
New Zealand actually.
I work out a little bit, but not that much. I'm too much of a lazy fat ass for that. I used to work out all the time, but man, weights are heavy. So No thanks. Rather just smoke weed, hang out, play video
Yeah,
games,
that
be a little chubby chubby.
that sounds fun. I have actually adopted one of your things that you talked about in a video quite a while back, and that was a piss tax.
Piss tax works, man. It's a genius idea. I don't do that, but other people should. Do as I say, not as I do.
But it worked for you, didn't it?
Oh hell yeah, it worked real well while I did it.
Yeah. It
But it's a lot of
yeah.
work.
It's all about sort of keeping up with your sort of training regiments or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, you have to be dedicated. Unfortunately, that's one thing I have. It's like when I'm single, I'm more willing to do that because like I want women. But when I have a girlfriend, it's like, my girlfriend don't give a shit if I'm tubby. So what the fuck do I care? And turns out I don't.
True.
So
Yeah. Although I do find that can help to sort of, if you're with someone, sort of give them a treat with working out a bit, give them something nice to look at.
it's only if you care about how they feel about things. Rookie mistake. Just get somebody that loves you when you're fat and disgusting, and then you don't have to do any of that stuff.
Yeah,
Better yet, make them love your mind. Then you don't have to do anything. That's what I find.
although I do find that sometimes people like a little bonus, like my girlfriend, she probably doesn't care too much about my looks, but I'm sure she'd like, I'm sure she'd enjoy me looking a bit fitter. So, you know,
Definitely won't hurt for sure. But I don't know. You don't want to be chubby or fat or anything, but I believe it has like diminishing returns, especially when you're in a relationship. That's just me. I'm lazy, so what do
yeah.
you expect?
It does also depend on how much time you have. Like when it comes,
Oh, I got plenty of time.
when it comes,
I just don't do
yeah,
it.
when it comes to me, like I've got a whole lot of stuff to do, and somehow I've been able to keep up with making videos recently, and also doing other things that I've got to keep up with, as well as getting in a bit of time to do programming stuff. But by doing that all, yeah, because I do all that when I go toilet, I often just completely forget about the piss tax, and then
It's hard to remember, especially if you're not dedicated enough to do it. But you got to explain what the piss tax is to people that don't know what it is. I want to explain it. So basically, what it is every time you go to the bathroom, you have to do a set of exercises, and it's just to remind you to do it. So you got to take a pee, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna do a series of push-ups to muscle exhaustion. Don't even count them; just do them until you can't do them anymore, and boom, you're done. So do that every time you pee, and then you do it enough, and eventually it really changes the shape of your body. Just keeping up the routine of doing that helps you remember.
yeah, and I'm not sure if it's helped me because I'm naturally skinny, and I'm
You've been in some muscle in there, wiry.
yeah, that's the problem. Like spindly arms and shit. So
They'll build up.
yeah.
I got thin for a while, but now I'm a massive, massive, huge hunk of muscle. Not really. I'm just kidding. But
I mean, one person did ask a question: which came first, the fat or the lazy?
the lazy, of course, the lazy baby, and then of course I was a chubby baby too. So I don't know. They came about the same time, I guess. All of it came together.
Although one thing that people sort of have criticized, well, not really criticized me for, but sort of said about was, so whenever I say that I'm working out to someone, they go, "You do realize that no matter how much you eat, you don't seem to put on any weight." Because I've always
Asshole.
I've always been the sort of person with I think it's fast metabolism.
Yeah, challenge accepted. I could put weight on you. If I got into your body for a couple months, I guarantee I could put some weight on you. Cheesecake, man, love me some fucking cheesecake.
It's a
I go ho ho.
It's also to do with the amount of money you have. Like, I'm not a particularly rich person, so I prefer to save, so I don't spend a whole lot of money on food. If I spent more money on food, I'd probably put on weight because I like to eat a lot. So, you know,
It's a lot easier in America because we subsidize all our fattening foods, and fast food is so unbelievably cheap here compared to other foods. So, you can get like 5 burgers for $5 or a salad for $5. And so obviously people get 5 burgers and say they can put on weight really quick here. So Just depends on your environment too. A lot, I
But do
think.
you guys have $5 pizzas?
Uh, yeah, we have Walmart $5
I'm
pizzas.
meaning like Domino's and Pizza Hut, sort of.
You can get a large Domino's here for
Okay,
$7.50.
because here we have $5 pizzas, which they're the value range, and so it's $5 New Zealand, so that's actually cheaper in New Zealand money. So you go over to Domino's and Domino's or Pizza Hut and just ask for $5 pizza, and yeah, pretty cheap.
Is it a large though?
Uh,
How big is it? I can eat a large by myself, easy, no problem.
it's I'm not sure. They don't really. It might be.
I have sizes in New Zealand. What the fuck, New Zealand? Get some sizes,
Oh, we have
dude.
size.
Anybody
We
from
have sizes when
Winnipeg,
it comes to McDonald's, but I'm just gonna.
like drinks and stuff. Those aren't pizzas. Those are Little Caesars. Somebody said
Um,
they use money in New Zealand. Hey, you got that funny Monopoly money. That doesn't
yeah,
count. Get some real dollars.
we have um, two different forms of currency, so or two different types of money. So
Well, that's
here's two $20
that's
notes.
confusing.
They're both $20 notes. These are the old $20 notes, and these are the new $20 notes. So
That's confusing as shit.
yeah, I can't tell whether it's.
Yeah, that's Monopoly money. That is worthless. That is just fake. Throw that away. Send it to me.
Speaking of money, I'm just going to go get a few $2 notes.
Ooh, $2. Fake. You're counterfeiting. Well, I will read the chat. Try pounds. They're worth more. Yeah, you can also lift them. Get in shape. Let's see. They're a wee bit bigger than American snack pizzas. Oh, okay. Well, that's tiny. Not like a big, large pizza I could eat by myself for $7.50.
Well,
CGI.
yeah.
Yeah. You seen Scottish Money? Nope, never seen no Scottish Money. Sorry, I've taken over the show. That's what the talent has to do. The talent has to take over the show.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm back to take over the show. So,
Okay, you're back. The talent is back. I'll shut the fuck up.
but yeah, I have this American money, a couple of $2 notes here, and
You mean real money?
it's paper money. I mean,
It's American money. It's real. It's the only real currency on the planet.
it just
There you go.
feels so
Fi-
fragile.
Feels real. Like you'd actually spin it, buy something, worth something. Yep. America.
And this money is, I mean, sure, this has a bit of a rip in it, but it doesn't feel as fragile as this paper money. So,
Paper's the only real way to do it.
plastic money all the way.
I'll take credits. American credits. I don't even like regular cash. It's a cashless society now. There's no reason for it.
I mean, when you go out on the street and busk, it's nice when people have coins and stuff. So,
Busk.
yeah, busk.
You go like playing your guitar and
Yeah,
stuff on the street.
that's a way to earn a bit of extra money.
I feel like a shithead. Like I used to live in Denver, and people busk all the time everywhere, and I never carry any money on me whatsoever, so can never help anybody. So like I would carry my dog around, and they like sing songs about my dog, and I was like, I can't even. They're singing songs about my dog, and I can't even give you $1 because I don't have anything. I feel like such a dick.
It's always nice though when there's people that bring something sort of original. I can't really sing that well, so I
Gotta learn how to rap. Play guitar and rap at the same time. That's what all the cool kids are doing.
well
Get you a ukulele.
if I try to rap like Lose Yourself or something, then I find it really difficult to work out where I was in the song. So
Yeah, it's hard to do all at the same
yeah.
time.
Or the notes that I'm meant to play on the guitar just gets all messed up in my mind, and it's like, nope, can't do that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice to do all that shit.
Yeah.
I can't do it either. I can barely rap without the playing on a guitar. So
I mean, you do have
I can imagine how hard.
I mean, you do have that song, Talking Points, which is quite a nice song, actually.
Thank you. I was listening to that last night. I was gonna pull a clip and use it for my intro to my new podcast instead of the old Dusty, you're getting rusty. Why are you playing those video games?
But
get rid of that. People are getting annoyed about that song already.
but
So
to be
upgrade.
fair, in a podcast you did with Destiny, you did pretty much admit that you're getting rusty.
I'm getting rusty. I'm a boomer. Boomer zoomer. 44 now. It's pretty much over for me. It's all downhill from here.
But you're not even playing those multiplayer games, you know? It's single player games.
No, I'm not playing. Yeah. I can't handle the multiplayer games. Too many kids destroying me and teabagging my face. And I'm like, no. My pride won't allow that to happen. So I have to get on my little single player games and whoop everybody's ass by myself. Borderlands 2. That's my game.
But isn't Borderlands a multiplayer game?
It's a co-op game, but you can play it by yourself. So that's what I do because I'm a loser. Don't have any friends. Sad Dusty. Sad face emoji.
Yeah. When it comes to games, I've got mostly single player games. So I mean, if I try and play against anyone in a multiplayer game, I usually get absolutely destroyed. So
yeah, it takes too much time and practice. I used to like professionally play games back in the day, but it's been so long ago, I don't really have the time or the patience for that anymore. My girlfriend's asking you if that's a chocobo stuffed animal behind
yes,
you.
it is a chocobo stuffed animal. Is Stoned Kitty your girlfriend?
Yes, don't see my girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, this is a
one of them. Yeah, no, sorry. Just kidding.
So yeah, this is a chocobo, and it's also got like a little heartless keychain and a Black Mage keychain on it. So
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. That was the shit back in the day.
yeah, I don't actually have a physical copy of Final Fantasy VII, and I'll probably.
What?
I mean, I don't have. The only PlayStation 1 game I have is Need for Speed High Stakes. Oh yeah, and I probably have a few others lying around somewhere.
Need for Speed? What the hell?
Yeah.
Like after the movie?
No,
that's the Fast and Furious I'm thinking of. Never mind. Those are terrible movies.
I mean, I have enjoyed some of them. I mean, the older ones were better. Like the newer ones without Paul Walker and all that. It's just not the same, you know. And it's
CGI Paul Walker make you cry a little bit at the end.
yeah. But when it comes to games, I have a lot of Final Fantasy games. If I read out all the Final Fantasy games I have, I've got Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 4, the complete collection on PSP, Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy 10 and 10 Part 2 HD Remaster, as well as the original 10 Part 2s, 12 The Zodiac Age, 12 Revenant Wings, 13 Part 2 Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 15 Type O, Dissidia NT, Final Fantasy Tactics, Dissidia 012, and Dissidia and The Spirits Within. And because Kingdom Hearts is obviously a Final Fantasy spin-off, I've got Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remaster, 2.5, 2.8, and 3.
I'm starting to see why you got no money for food.
I mean, I bought these ages ago. So
Got a little obsession there with some Final Fantasy. That's okay. They're good games. I understand. I need to get back into them. I haven't played them in a while. Been a bit.
Yeah, the last one wasn't that great, at least at launch. It's a lot better now that they've updated it. So, and I feel like that's the way that games are going these days.
Like, it's good enough for now. Let's get it out there, pre-release, and then fix it on the fly. The fans will tell us what's wrong with it eventually, and then we can just take their criticism and work on it.
It seems like the way that Bethesda goes about creating games. They'll release a game that's completely broken, like Fallout.
Like that Fallout on.
Yeah, and then by the time they release a patch for it, the fans have already fixed it in mods. So
yeah, free labor. That's just smart.
Yes.
That's what I would do. Wish I could do it with my videos. Just put out shitty videos and have the fans fix them. Re-upload them. See how good I did? Yay! It was all me.
That'd actually be a great way to go about things. I mean, that's what green screen people do. You know, they people with the green screen challenges, they'll make something and they'll have a green screen behind them and just get all their fans to, make something with the green screens. So
I should do that. Nobody would do it though, so it'd be a waste of my time. No one gives a shit. I'm so irrelevant.
True. But yeah, there was something else that I was gonna talk about, but I forgot. Damn it. But yeah,
Is it my porn scam? Is it high invented facials? Is it high invented t-shirts?
actually, there was something that I did want to bring up to you relating about porn, right?
Porn? Hell yeah. Love me some porn. What you got?
So recently, I was involved in a bit of a controversy, right?
Three-way?
Nothing like that,
No,
unfortunately.
sorry. I'm going a different direction with this. Sorry. My mind's in a bad place.
I mean, if I was involved in a three-way, I wouldn't complain, but you know.
It's a lot of work. It's kind of hard to stay hard because it's so much pressure. Got to take pills ahead of time. Just a pro tip.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind for if I ever do get involved in that kind of stuff. But recently there was like a bit of a controversy, and that was where I pretty much leaked a document on stream, right?
Doxer.
No, it didn't. It wasn't doxing anyone. It was essentially saying that I was getting paid to make videos about the shape of the Earth, right? And
Oh, okay.
and
So
yeah,
it's
it was a joke, and a whole lot of flat earthers actually believed it. So
He was making that George Soros money. Page chill. Illuminati
yeah,
confirmed.
pretty much. But
See, right
one
there.
of the things I did to make it more believable is I had a tab open, and to make this tab, I just opened up Pornhub and typed in teen, right? And so a lot of flat earthers saw that and said, teen, isn't that really questionable? But surely you would know, in porn, what age is generally teen?
18 and 19, since they have to be legal, so they have to card everybody that's on their videos. So can't have anybody below the age of 18 on your videos. So they pretty much card everybody for 18.
Yeah, so
True story.
I don't. It's like they've never heard of teens being 18 and 19. They're just thinking that it's below 18. It's like, if they are below 18, that is, it's a bit creepy, but
Yeah, well, they say teen to try to make you think that they're below age, but they're usually almost never not, or never are, rather. But I mean, I guess you could probably find, like, I don't know if you ever heard of Tracy Lords. Ever heard of her? She's like one of the most famous porn stars of all time that actually started when she was 16. And but she lied to everybody and said she was 18. So there was all these porno movies out there from when she's 16, but everybody thought she was
Okay.
18. So she actually got pretty famous after that. She started doing like mainstream movies and stuff after that, which is weird. But for the most part, they card everybody, and pretty much everybody's 18 or
yeah.
over.
And I can understand why, especially if you're a professional company. You don't want anyone under the age of 18 working for you.
Oh yeah, you don't want to destroy your entire company and go to jail for sure. So gotta be real careful about that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
And yeah, I just don't understand why their mind, when they thought of teen, the first thing was, below 18. And it's like, I'm just wondering if they're the ones with the dodgy mind. Could be.
Well, people always want to think the worst of you, so they always want to make you the most uncharitable they can possibly be in order to, demonize you, and so they can dismiss what you're saying. So, just basic human psychology.
But I did get reminded of something that I was going to bring up, because you often, like, in some of your podcasts, you have a bit of problems with tabs, to having too many tabs open.
I ain't got a problem. It's a solution to my problem.
Yeah,
I got so much information. I need lots of tabs.
yeah.
All works.
Well, I mean, it's a problem for your RAM on your computer.
It is a problem RAM. I've started doing bookmarks now, so I've kind of stopped with the tabs. I just bookmark everything and load them up one by one. So I'm getting better at it. I prefer the tabs, but I gotta adapt. So I'm doing that.
So that would mean that you're a high IQ skeptic.
I don't know about that now. I've never taken an IQ test because I've never been that big of an asshole. So, as far as I know, below average IQ, and I'm sticking with that.
I mean, but the thing is, the more tabs you have open, the higher your IQ.
Oh yeah, that's true. That just goes without
Yeah.
saying. It's by default.
I mean,
brain.
high IQ skeptic, red pill philosophy. he figured that out, and so that's how he has such a high IQ and how he's so skeptical. He subscribes to Skeptic magazine, so you know that he's a skeptic, right?
That's right in the name. Has to be true. They couldn't say it.
Yeah. So, and I've also taken this a step further, right? I've worked out that the more browser windows you have open, that also increases your IQ. So,
I must be a porn genius because I have like 90 porn tabs open all at the same time. Because you got to skip around, get yourself going. So you got to have midgets over here, and interracial over here, and grannies over here, and just like whatever you're in the mood for right that second, boom, you got it. Porn expert, really.
yeah.
Taking this shit to another level.
I find that sometimes it helps if it actually helps to have like a whole lot of different windows open if it's something live, right? Because quite often if it's live, there's nothing interesting happening. So, gotta have something interesting happening.
Yeah. Usually I just try to keep myself on the screen at all times. Haha, yeah, because I'm interesting. Get it? What's up, folks? I'll be here all week.
Yeah. I mean, I have thought about what if I was starring in a porno, but I I feel like that would just piss a whole lot of people off.
Yeah, that would not be attractive on my part. I'd be too self-conscious. Be like, no, don't look at my dick. Don't film my dick. Film her boobs instead. Stop filming my ass. There's cellulite on it. Stop filming my taint, dude. Get that off my butthole, please. Then I would go limp. It'd be horrible.
That would just be weird. Like, I don't get some of the camera angles in porn. It just looks really weird, and it's just like.
Yeah. Can you hold this camera under your ball sack, please? Yes. Okay. There you go. Perfect. See your ball sweat dripping down on the camera. That's exactly what I wanted. Win some awards for this one.
Yeah. I mean, when in doubt, have a shot of the female's face.
Exactly. That's the most attractive part anyway. Like when I'm watching virtual porn, that's pretty much all I stare at is just the female's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. Boobs, vagina. Yeah, that's cool. But face. Like to see what the face she's making.
And one person.
VR porn for life.
I
You tried the VR porn?
No, I don't have
Oh god, dude.
I don't have a VR headset, so
get on it, dude. Stop buying Final Fantasy. Get you some VR shit.
But one thing that you can do for VR, right, is if you've got a phone, you just hold your phone like really close to your face and just sort of refocus your eyes. And
okay, that's terrible. That's just awful and wrong. Don't do that. Get you a VR headset, man. They're not that expensive. Got to get into it. Of course, you got a girlfriend, so she might not want you to watch the VR porn.
I mean, she doesn't really care if I watch porn or not, so.
All right. See, there you go. Maybe she'll watch it with you. It's weird, though, like when you put on the headset and you turn on the video and you're not expecting it, but it's a gay video and you're like suddenly getting impounded by another dude. You're like, holy shit, VR headset warned me before you pound me by another dude. I wasn't expecting that. But then you like watch it anyway because it's kind of had a little bit. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, obviously, that gay conversion to that straight to gay conversion therapy worked a bit on you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're right. That video I did. Yep, made me like I was on like 10% gay, and now I'm like 20% gay. So it totally worked.
But
I want all of it.
But I'm just
now.
confused as to how you managed to get a gay porn video. Like, wouldn't you have to search that up or something? Like, how do you not know that it's a gay porn video before you put it on?
I mean, some of the titles, like, if you don't like not paying attention too much to what you're like, I download everything. Like, I just download everything that's popular on the VR. There's like a VR torrent site. It's called Pornhub, I think it's called. But anyway, so I just sort it by popularity and just download everything that really looking at it, and I just go through. And because I have ADD, I like get bored really easily. So I just like play a video for a second. And I'm like, no, this sucks. Next. So I download like 1,000 of them and just like skip through them all. So sometimes you end up on one that surprises you.
Yeah, I mean, I usually look at the title first, and it's like, you look at the title and the thumbnail.
That's right.
So.
That's rookie shit. Just download everything on the first page and just go through it real fast. I have a whole separate 1 terabyte hard drive just for VR porn.
I mean, if I had the time to whack it all day, I mean, maybe then.
Make the time. If it's important, you make the time. Okay. Priorities, dude.
But I generally have a whole lot of shit to do, so I don't have the time to whack it all day.
All right, you ain't living then. At least pick one day a week just to whack it all that day. I highly recommend it. Definitely a stress reliever
I mean, yeah, it does relieve stress, but have
and other things. Yeah, it
have
does.
you ever? I don't know if you've ever noticed, but have you ever noticed how if you're really stressed, you don't really get horny at all, or is it just me?
Yeah, too much stress is bad. Like that's why I don't do stress at all. I just try to stay as least stressed as I can at all times, so I can just whack it whenever I feel like it. So constantly in masturbation mode. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Did I literally walk in on COD talking about porn? Yes, it's COD. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about porn. What the fuck else would I be talking about? It's like my main field of expertise
I mean,
of an atheism and porn. That's what I know.
I have actually seen this. There's this one porn video that I saw, which actually, now that I think of it, I've probably seen more. But there was one that I remember that, had like this supposedly Christian guy and all that. So, in the porn, he's like going. He was actually a really good actor because he was all like, "Oh no, Lord."
Really good porn actor.
Yeah.
Making his debut, breakout star of this porn.
Yeah, and he was really selling the whole hardcore Christian sort of thing. So
No, I can't because of Jesus. I can't. Oh, I can. Wow. Get it, girl. I'd watch that. I just fucked the Jesus out of you. Yeah, you did. I'm an atheist now.
that would actually be funny. Like,
Yeah. Atheist porn. It's a new niche we should invent.
just got to work on a site for it, and you invented facials. Now you can invent atheist porn.
Yeah, add it to my collection of shit I've invented, along with T-shirts, shirts.
And you
face
also
shirts. Atheist
and you also
porn.
invented the atheist community, so it only makes sense that you invent atheist porn.
I did do that. Yeah, that's what happens when you're the talent. Just invent so much shit.
Yeah.
I want Jesus to watch. I hope he's watching. That's what turns me on.
I mean, I have seen pictures of sexy Jesus, and
Oh shit! Every movie he's in, every movie they ever made about Jesus, they pick a fucking sexy ass white dude.
yeah. So
I want to fuck Jesus. Hell yeah, get it, Jesus.
and
Get sexy on that cross.
and
Look how hot you are, dying.
and a while ago, I had a conversation with this guy about gay Jesus, discussing whether there was whether Jesus was gay or not, and this was with a Christian that didn't believe that Jesus was gay, but wanted to make a point about it for some reason.
He did hang out with a lot of dudes all the time, almost nothing but dudes and prostitutes. So
Yeah,
sounds pretty gay to me. Even though I don't think he existed to begin with, but if he did, definitely gay.
yeah.
He was loving his neighbor like he loved himself. Yeah, he was.
I mean, there was that. Apparently, in one of the Gospels, there's this time where there's this guy that was only wearing a loincloth or something, and so, and then when this, apparently he ran away when the people came to arrest Jesus or something like that. I can't remember how the story's meant to go.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Did he drop his
Yeah,
loincloth
something
on the way out?
something like that, and he ran away. I can't remember it. I mean, I have a Bible right here, and I've got a bookmark at one of the verses that really shows Jesus's love. So it's Hosea, and so I'm going to give you proof that God loves you, Dusty. Right? And
All right. I need
and
it.
that is, though he be fruitful among his brethren, an east wind shall come, a wind of Jehovah that cometh up from the wilderness, and his spring shall become dry, and his fountain shall be dried up. He shall spoil the treasure of all pleasant vessels. Samaria shall bear her guilt, for she hath rebelled against her God. They shall fall by the sword, their infants shall be dashed in pieces, and their women with child shall be ripped up.
That sounds like an all-loving God. I definitely want to worship that immediately.
Yeah. We should all worship that particular God of the Bible.
Yeah. Fuck that. I do not negotiate with terrorists. So, suck a dick, Jesus.
I can't remember. I think there was a bit of an argument that I was having with someone about God or gods recently. I can't remember what it was about, but
I definitely wouldn't worship that monster. Fuck that.
One thing that I'm actually thinking about doing is because I keep on seeing these street preachers, and I'm pretty sure they're Jehovah's Witnesses, and I want to just ask them a simple question, and I'm sure they'll dodge, right? And I want to ask them, do I deserve to be tortured?
Hell yeah. Deserve an infinite punishment for a finite crime? That seems just and fair, doesn't it?
And so I am genuinely curious to see what they respond with. Like, will they respond with a yes, or will they try and dodge saying, well, if you believe in Jesus, you won't get tortured? And it's like, no, do I deserve to be tortured? So I wonder if they'll dodge it or if they'll give me a straight answer. I feel like they'll try and dodge.
I debated a preacher one time, one of the first preachers I ever debated before I even started my channel, and I asked him about his son. I was like, what if you were in heaven and you know that your son was in hell burning for eternity? How would you be able to enjoy yourself in heaven? And he was like, I wouldn't care. It'd be okay with me if my son was burning for hell in eternity. And I was like, dude, no, it wouldn't. What are you talking about? The thought of your person you love so much being tortured forever and ever unending, that would be okay with you? That's just ridiculous. And of course, later he called my friend's mom, who set up the whole meeting, and he was like, I feel bad about saying that. I don't really believe that. Yeah, I know you don't believe that, dummy.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. You're just trying to cover for your stupid beliefs, and you didn't know how to respond to a simple childlike question because you're a moron.
I find that a lot of religious people do say stuff that might be, or say stuff that they to win a debate or something, and because there's been quite a few people which I've had discussions with about God. There was one person which said was trying to use the God was the creator sort of thing. Oh, God was the first cause, and first off, that is a special pleading fallacy because
everything has to be created except for this one thing we say doesn't.
And second off, it's like, how do you know that the universe had a beginning? The universe as we know it may have had a beginning, but that doesn't mean that there was a beginning of all time, so to speak.
Yeah, well, time pretty much started at the beginning of the Big Bang. Time is only a marking of the transition of energy from one form to another as it expands. So there was no time before that happened. So there was no before the Big
time
Bang.
as we know it. Because it could have been that the universe has just been going through an infinite series of expansions and collapses. That is...
Well, that's correct.
So that's a possibility.
The time in this particular universe, anyway.
Yeah. So...
Could be infinite number of universes, that are going back and forth. No telling. I'm still stuck on the simulation theory. I think this is all a simulation.
Yeah.
So I play my life like it's a video game.
I actually saw a really good video, and the person of the video says, "Do not make a religion out of this," but the Buddhists were right. And he basically used simulation theory to say, if we're in just say the real world is a post-scarcity society, right? And we might have infinite lifespans, and that, or they might have achieved biological immortality in that in that universe, right? So they've made a simulation to sort of put people that are born into the simulation to sort of get them to live a life which where they don't have all this abundant resources and all that, right? So if you live your life to a good standard, you know, then you get to sort of live your immortal life. Whereas if you don't, they just wipe your memories and restart the simulation until you live a life of a decent standard.
Yeah, that sounds cool, but I'd have to see evidence to prove that to be true.
Mm.
As far as I can tell, this world seems to reward bad behavior just fine. I don't really see bad people being punished nearly to the amount there should be, and justice it just seems like a naive concept to me, which is depressing, but also
Yeah,
reality.
and that is really unfortunate. To be honest, like
Yeah, that'll definitely make you nihilistic.
yeah, but the one thing that I do want to bring up, and I only just thought about bringing this up, so it wasn't something that I had intended to discuss. But um, have you've heard of people that are anarcho-capitalists, right? Yeah.
Yes.
How stupid do you find that idea?
Uh, yeah, they don't really go together, do they? It's kind of an opposite idea, to be honest with you. I'm more of a democratic socialist, so I think all the other ideas, except for that one, right at the moment, are silly
Mm,
anyway. So I think that it's pretty clear what the best government system is currently. Like, obviously, in the future, it might be different because our societies will change and our societies will evolve. But right now, it seems like democratic socialism is the main government that is creating the most happy people in our society. So that's kind of what I want to
yeah.
shoot for, which is basically what Bernie Sanders is. Even though he says he's a socialist, he's not really a socialist. He's a
I
social
think
democrat.
a lot of people sort of, try and put the label of commie or socialist on.
Well, it's a form of capitalism. That's the weird thing. Just a different type of capitalism. So it's people that don't understand what they're talking
Yeah,
about. It's not. If you look at Denmark, Denmark is not a socialist country. It's a capitalist
yeah,
country. Sweden, all those European countries are. But it's a different form of capitalism where it's more regulated with higher taxes and stuff than just laissez-faire capitalism, which is definitely not a fan to the little
mm.
person.
But yeah, but the one thing that I wanted to sort of talk about was when it comes to anarcho-capitalism, they seem to think that the free market would sort out all the problems, but
Yeah, it's
if
silliness.
there's anything that the Gillette controversy has shown, and I don't know where my Gillette razor is, but I've got a Gillette razor, and after that Gillette controversy, I was thinking, damn, I probably shouldn't have bought that Gillette razor. If I had have known about all the shitty stuff that Gillette was doing, I probably wouldn't have bought that razor. But I didn't know, and so
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you serious?
I'm
Do you have a real problem with Gillette? Because I didn't think the commercial they made was a problem. I didn't have
I
any
had
problem
no
with it.
problem with the commercial. What I had problems with was their pink tax, was their
All the
yeah,
other
animal
stuff, yeah.
testing. So
Oh yeah, the companies, but Procter and Gamble, I think. So yeah, the company itself is complete
yeah,
shit. The commercial wasn't a problem, but yeah, the company. I just buy Equate or whatever, although it's probably just as bad. Walmart
mm.
brand.
So and that is sort of the problem that you have with anarcho capitalism is that if a company finds a way to cut corners and have shitty practices which people don't know about, people will still buy from that company. You know,
Well, the thing is even if people know, like take BP Oil for example, that year that they spilled all that oil into the
yeah,
Gulf, they polluted the entire fucking ocean with oil, and that year they did record profits. And people know they did that, and they know they're going to BP gas stations and filling up, and people still didn't give a shit.
mm,
So this idea that the market will regulate itself is just provably wrong. You can just see it. It's wrong. It's just stupid.
yeah. It's so I do not. I do understand where free market does have its advantages, but it needs to be a regulated free market. Like a good a
Yeah.
good
Well,
example is
capitalism has its.
I was just
Go
going to
ahead.
say a good example is New Zealand's free market, where it's actually regulated to be a free market.
It's you definitely need some kind of regulation, otherwise, everything turns to a dollar sign. what capitalism does. It makes every single human life a dollar sign. It just depends on if they can pay the fine to get off with costing your life, and still make a profit. That's what they'll do. There are laws that make it illegal for them not to seek out the maximum amount of profit. So for the people that hold their stock, so for their stockholders, so it's a nightmare scenario, really, if you think about it. It has to be regulated where people are put over profits.
Yeah. And yeah, I was just going to bring up one point, but I forgot what forgot what my point was. Your Beats headphones were distracting me. For some reason, I was only thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's like, why don't you get those Beats headphones? The only reason I have these things is my mom got them for free somehow. She won them like a raffle or something, and she didn't need them. So she was like, do you want these Beats headphones? And like, I usually have these janky ass shitty headphones, but my cats keep chewing them up. I feel like 30 pair. Like, sure, I'll take those heavy ass Beat headphones, and at least they're indestructible. So the cats can't destroy them. That's the only reason I have them. So I don't support the Beats. I think that they're overpriced. Would never buy them for myself, but I got it for free, so
these headphones here, they're not my favorite set of headphones. My favorite set of headphones has stopped working in one ear, and that's always annoying. But these ones, they do their job, so I should probably actually get a new set of headphones.
Yeah, as long as I get it done, that's how I am. I don't really care what the brand name is. I just want it to function. If it functions properly, it works for me.
Although I do like comfortable headphones, And these ones are
always a bonus.
These ones are supposed to be sort of DJ headphones. So, if you're DJing in the club and you want to put headphones on, even.
Do you DJ in the club?
I haven't DJed in the club for like a couple of years now.
Wait for the beat to drop. Here we go. Used to love to go to the club in Denver, man. That was my thing. I used to like to go dancing. Get all fucked up on Molly and shit, acid, and go dance my ass off, make a fool out of myself, get drunk as shit. Good times, good times.
Yeah. It sounds like you've had a fun life, to be honest, especially...
Oh, shit. My life's been awesome. You definitely can't fucking complain. I've been all kinds of shit in my life. Still doing
the only time... Like, if I had to live... If I had to live your life, there would be probably one part that I'd skip, and that would be the doomsday prepping part.
Even that wasn't horrible. I mean, that was still sort of, I was out learning how to take care of myself, learning how to like cut down trees with chainsaws and chop firewood. And I don't know, it was kind of fun in a way. It was just a lot of work, but yeah, I might skip that, I guess. I don't know. It depends.
But, yeah, because you've had quite a bit of success. First you had your sort of porn company, and then you had...
Porn Empire.
Yeah.
I wrote a book, and then I played video games professionally, and then I did porn again, and then I did, I guess, YouTube. I was on MTV one time. Didn't
you also do stock trading at one point?
I did. I did day trading for a little bit. I really wasn't a very good day trader, though. I pretty much lost on day trading, so I wouldn't really talk about that as a success. Yeah. Basically, the vast majority of people that day trade lose their money. It's like 90% loss or something. So you have to be. It's basically just gambling. You have to be extremely lucky, and I'm not that lucky, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, like if I could, one of the things that I'd do if I could go back in time, right, is I'd buy a bit of Bitcoin before it got all popular and
sell it at its peak. Hell, if I'd have known that, I'd have bought Apple back when I was doing the day trading. All I had to do was hold onto my Apple stock and be fucking rich as shit right now. So hindsight's 2020. You never know about that shit. You just got to do the best you can with it.
And one of the things about Apple though is Apple is one of the sort of it's what I look to when I think about the free market not working, because Apple is worth I think it's the company that's worth the most right now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
probably.
And they have really shitty business practices. Their phones will... Oh, you've got a iPad.
I absolutely hate Apple. Would never buy their products. I never put this thing down. I love my iPad. So I can't talk shit about Apple since it says that I have it in my hand 13 hours every day. That's what the little app that tracks my usage says. So I'm pretty much addicted to it.
I have my my Samsung phone. It works. It's Android, so I find that it's better.
Yeah,
But when it comes to
pretty good.
when it comes to Apple products, like I watched this video that showed how badly their Macs were designed, and it's just wow, what?
I wouldn't buy their computer. The only thing I would buy from them is their iPad. They make the best tablet, and tablet is like really useful for me in my life because I pretty much spend all my day every day reading on the internet, and it makes that so simple. But everything else, I would probably buy a Android product
Yeah,
for.
you see, I don't really see the need of having a tablet. I suppose it can be, useful, but it's. It just depends. Like I'm more of an iOS, no, not an OS person. Why did I put the I? Goddamn. But yeah, if something has a good OS, then I usually like it. And
Well, yeah, for computers, Windows definitely works better. But for iPads or for tablets, I think the Apple operating system makes everything a lot more intuitive and easy to use. So
I prefer the Android operating system, and one of the reasons why I do like Android is because all my apps, if I buy an app, it's sort of saved there, and I don't have to re-buy it again.
yeah, well, Apple's the same way.
Mm.
They're really easy to set up. Like I shatter a screen on my iPad probably every once a month, so I need a new one every month. So you buy a new one and basically you just like hold it close to the other one and it basically just makes it exactly the same. It clones it.
But but one of the problems, if you've got one of the problems with Apple is that their screens do break too easily. I've had this phone for 2 years. I've probably dropped it a couple times too, as well.
well, I definitely agree with that. Screens break way too easy. Like I said, I go through one a month, so that's like $300 every month for a new iPad.
So I think I'll.
But I use mine a lot.
Yeah.
So
Although one thing that I did manage to do, and you're not going to believe this, right? I don't know where that phone is, but no, it's not there. But I've got this phone, and it's around somewhere, and it's a Nokia. I managed to somehow break the screen of that.
oh, you book a Nokia? Those are supposed to be indestructible.
Yeah, I
Give up houses with those things.
I had it in my pocket one day, and I also had a bottle top, and it was one of how you can sort of squeeze the bottle tops and sort of fold them over of beer can, or not beer cans, but beer bottles.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, anyway, I had one of them in my pocket as well, and I was jumping on a trampoline, and then I must have put too much pressure on the bottle top and the phone, and yeah, it cracked the screen. So,
What you get for going on a trampoline? Stay off those things. They're dangerous. You break your head, kid.
yeah, I haven't been on a trampoline in years.
That's good exercise. It's fun to wrestle with your siblings on.
Yeah, I always liked the springless trampolines, the ones that didn't have any springs.
I've never been on one of those. That sounds fancy as shit. Can't afford that here in Mississippi.
Yeah.
We ain't got it like that. Show off.
I was always worried on the trampolines with springs that my leg would go through the area where there was springs. So
I've had that happen before. It is unpleasant. I've also fallen off and landed directly on my neck, which is also
Ouch.
unpleasant.
that sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, not amazing, but I shouldn't have been on the trampoline anyway at my age, so I was in my 30s, so no excuse for that.
Okay, yeah, like I think I can't even imagine a situation where I'd be on a trampoline again.
I guess if I was shooting a video about a trampoline, maybe it's one thing I can think.
Yeah, that would probably be the only thing that I'd end up on a trampoline for. Would be if I'm in a video. I mean, to be fair though, times have been changing, and I was actually at this thing yesterday where we had someone talking about times changing a bit. But back when you were young, you wouldn't have had quite as many video games to occupy your time with.
Well, that's true. When I was real young, well, I did have, I had an Atari when I was a kid, so we had like Pac-Man and Pong and shit. That was the bomb back in the day, dude. It was a dot that went back and forth on the screen. How do they do this? It's amazing. Look at that dot going back and forth. I can control the stick. It's fucking magic, man. We're living in a marvelous time of the future. Then Nintendo came out, fucking Mario Brothers, and I like shit myself. Oh my god, look at these little pixels running and jumping. How do they do it? Is Jesus? Come out of there, Jesus.
That wouldn't actually surprise me.
It's awesome.
Because even though I have a degree in IT and I understand a bit better how computers work and all that, I still wonder like how they actually manage to get so much information into a little space. I mean, even when I was a kid, I never thought that phones would be like this.
It's easy, man. Ones and zeros. What part of that don't you understand? They're either on or off. It makes so much sense.
Well, when you're...
So obvious.
Yeah. But...
I'm just kidding. I don't understand it either. It's magic as far as I'm concerned. They say that any sufficiently technologically advanced society is indistinguishable from magic, and that's already where we're at, in my opinion.
I mean, I was actually walking past this thing the other day, and it looked like this hologram, right? Or this thing. And I was just wondering, how does it work? Eventually I worked out that it probably had some sort of thing spinning around. And...
mirrors and lasers.
And it probably had a light that would flash every so often and flash different colors and make an image. And it would just make it look as though the image was just floating there in midair. And so, yeah.
That shit's cool, though.
Yeah.
Basically an optical illusion.
Yeah, and those things are great. It's amazing what we've achieved. I'm just hoping that people move into the future before things
before we destroy it. Gonna destroy the whole world.
Because we are. I do feel like we could possibly save ourselves before we fuck everything up. And
hopefully, could happen. Hopefully, we'll get this Green New Deal passed and we'll accidentally save the planet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We got Trump as the president right now. We're going in the exact opposite direction we need to be going in, and tons of people don't seem to give a shit. Now they still think that Jesus is going to save us all. So it's just a very scary time, unfortunately. All we can do is to keep hammering them and try to change society the best we can.
Yeah. And one of the things I suppose it does make sense, but at the same time it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because you'd think that Christians of all people would be the sort of people that would say, we've got to fight against climate change, because when it comes to if God created the world, this would be God's planet that we're fucking up. So shouldn't we try and do something about it?
Nope. God can destroy the earth. Man can't. We're arrogant for even thinking that we can. That's what they'll say.
Yeah.
I've heard it all. Just go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go get in the corner. We'll work it out. We'll fix it without you, dumbass. We don't need your help.
Yeah. Let the people that actually know what they're talking about sort it.
Yep, I heard that. I'll support you. I'll support the science. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I got your back.
Although there are a few things that, like there was this one document that I read a while back, that actually gave me a bit of hope, but also the conspiracies surrounding this document kind of made me think, God damn it, why are people like this? And this is a document that's essentially outlines for a whole lot of countries what they should, like what sort of policies they need to kind of implement, and it's non-binding. It's came from the UN, so they don't have to do this, and that I suppose that's why Trump has been going backwards in fighting climate change. But essentially, this document says here's things that you can do to try and reduce wealth inequality, to reduce your emissions, to make living better for your citizens, and problem is that the conspiracy theorists have basically taken this and gone, the UN is trying to control everything using Agenda 21. And they don't actually look at the document.
Yep. That's what they always do. It's like the Green New Deal. They're trying to kill all the cows.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't actually look to see what they're talking about. Try to just scare people. They're fear mongers. That's what they've always done. The rich has always been incredibly good at separating the poor from their money and pitting us against each other, so we don't actually go after the big problems. Like Tucker Carlson was on video, was caught on I guess he was on a radio program. Was caught basically saying, "Yeah, I'm part of the elite. I'm a trust fund millionaire, and I understand that the best way to keep all your money and have people not be mad at you is distract them with other bullshit." And that's exactly what he does. And so that's what the rich have always done for us.
And yeah, that's why I think that a lot of why a lot of people actually still vote for the Republican Party, because the rich people say, "Oh, all you've got to do to become wealthy is work hard," and and the problem is that if everyone's working hard, not everyone is going to become rich and wealthy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the hardest workers, the people out there digging the ditches, they ain't being rich, All the employees working 40, 60 hours a week, they're not getting rich. It's one of the best ways to be rich is to be born rich, or to have money already, or to get a small loan of $1 million from your daddy or some shit like that. Money attracts money. Hard work will get you a little bit, might get you in the middle class, but usually ain't going to get rich off of it.
Yeah, I do find that luck also plays into it as well. Although...
Yeah.
There is one person that I wouldn't say it was, in a way it would be luck that got this guy rich, but it was also a bit of I'm trying to work out a good way. It'd be a bit of a little bit of time and dedication. But is this guy called Dusty? Have you heard of him? This Dusty Smith guy got rich by...
He sucks. Fuck that guy. Scammer.
Yeah. He got rich and decided to try and sell a book that was telling people how to get rich. It's not like I've gone looked at this book or anything to see what it says,
I don't know what it says, but I know he's a scammer, definitely. He's ripping people off this pyramid scheme. He's also a pirate. He's stealing porn and posting it at his own. No. Of course, people know what you're talking about. Basically, I used to make money in porn. I had some of the first porn websites on the internet, some of the first pay sites. And then I kind of got into YouTube and started making a living doing YouTube, and I got bored with doing porn. So I was like, I'll just write a book, explain exactly how I made money doing porn. And so I wrote a book called The Adult Autopilot. And I sold the book for about a year, and then the information in the book started getting a little bit outdated. So I was like, well, I don't want to rip anybody off. So I just make this book free in the public domain, so anybody can read it for free, which is in the public domain right now. If you want to read it, you can just type in Adult Autopilot PDF, and it'll be the first thing that comes up in Google. But anyway, a lot of people made videos saying, Dusty's a scammer, he's a pirate, he's trying to screw people over with this book, and they didn't even read the book, even though the book is free. Not read a single word of the book before they, decided to go in public and smear me. But basically the reason they did that is because I was coming out against the skeptic community and explaining why going after SJWs was just helping conservatives take and maintain power, and you were just being a friend to the alt-right when you did that, and people were trying to smear me so people wouldn't listen to what I was saying, so they had to do that with ad hominem attacks, and so they just came up with anything they could, and that was one of the things they came up with, is that I was scamming people in this book that they didn't bother to read.
And I've actually read it, and it does make a lot of sense.
It's genius.
Yeah, I was reading it and I was thinking, okay, so that's why there's so many videos on porn sites that are 5 minutes or something.
and that open up other browsers and link to outside sites. There are not as many of those sites anymore because sites like Pornhub and such put them out of business. But back in the day, that was every site was like that, and it was a good way to make money. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars made in that industry, and I try to help people get a part of it.
And so it does sort of explain a lot of things that you see on porn sites. So it's good information, even if it is outdated now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to look back in history and see how the porn industry online developed and evolved. But yeah, I thought it was a good book. I thought it was relatively entertaining, and it's a quick read. Definitely not ashamed of it.
And I mean, I've read it, so otherwise I wouldn't be able to say how it's.
It's an easy read. It only takes about 10 minutes, I think. You can skim through it real fast. But yeah, that whole system I was proud of that we invented that system. I think that, of course, we didn't like it completely invent the system, but we kind of revolutionized how the system worked, and uh, I was proud of that.
Yeah. And it is a bit of a shame that that kind of thing is dying, and you got this, and you got Pornhub taking over. Although you've still got X videos and XXNX or something still out there, so
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame in a way, but is a much better website. You actually find the porn on there you want. So from a consumer standpoint, it's actually better the way that the industry has gone now than it was back in the day. Back in the day, it was really annoying. Could hardly ever find any good porn because every time you click on something, it opened a different website, and the clips are small and shitty. And so it's definitely better now from a consumer standpoint.
But I think I think the main website that people were disappointed to see go was Hentai Haven.
Oh shit, Hentai Haven. You like the lolly porn and your tentacle porn?
I'm not a big,
Got tentacle.
not a
Tentacle porn's weird as
yeah.
shit.
It's really really fucking weird.
But it makes sense, like kind of why they got that. The reason that kind of formed is because they have to censor genitalia and stuff, over in Japan and stuff, and so. But tentacles, don't have to censor tentacles. They can just fuck anything. So they kind of got around the laws by doing that shit.
It just for me it just seems weird why tentacles would want to do all that kind of shit. You know?
Hey, demons need love too.
I suppose.
They got to get it where they can. From nubile little lolly girls, apparently.
And Christmas says, I mean, in hentai and e-hentai are still around, so maybe there's something to look at if you're missing your hentai.
That's true. Haven't not really ever been into that very much. I'm mostly into real chicks or real virtual chicks.
And
virtual porn pretty much ruins
and here
all
I
that.
was thinking that you might be a filthy weeb.
No, I'm just a regular old boomer. Just regular old cat porn. Just like a normal person.
Damn it. It's open to have a great discussion about anime today.
I can talk about Legend of the Overfeed. You know what that is?
No.
No, that's some old school stuff. Like back in the day, that's how that stuff got it started. Got it start with like these straight to VHS anime movies that had all this tentacle demon porn rape and shit in it.
Okay.
That was like the precursor to all the stuff these days.
The oldest anime that I've watched, I think, would have to be Death Note.
Oh shit, that's new stuff. Just a fetus, just a little baby. Come on, Death Note. Holy shit.
I mean, actually no, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh my god, that's
That-
even worse. Yu-Gi-Oh. Come
That
on,
was
man.
my
Gotta get into some Legend of the Overfiend.
Yu-Gi-Oh was my jam as a kid.
Look that up. Joe Jams kid. It's like Pokemon-esque. Like right next to Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Dragon Ball Z.
But there have been a few that I've been watching recently. Like I watched Tokyo Ghoul recently. Have you heard that?
No,
Okay.
not from there.
I enjoyed it. It was definitely interesting. It got really weird near the end though.
I did see the live action version of Death Note on Netflix.
Yeah,
Did
that
you see it?
sucked.
They had like a black guy playing the Asian cop, and which is fine. The guy did a good job, I thought. But yeah, it wasn't that
Yeah,
great
I
of a
think
movie.
the main problem. There's two problems that I had with it, right? And the joke that I always go is that the movie was great, but William Dafoe brought it down, which is obviously a joke. If anyone says that, you gotta.
horrible actor, terrible William Dafoe.
But when it came to that movie, the first thing that sort of put it that. The first thing that I noticed that made it really bad was the acting of the person that played Light. Right? And especially when he was in the classroom and going, ah! Ah!
They're trying to make it too anime, like live action and anime mixed together don't really mix. You have to have a more serious tone when you're doing live action.
I mean, I don't mind them putting jokes in, but it didn't really seem like they were trying to put a joke in or anything, But the second thing was the writing, and it just, it didn't really. Some of the rules that they just added in didn't really make sense. So
Not enough Death Notes. There's been way more Death Notes.
I mean, the anime had like 3 or 4 different Death Notes.
Yeah, it had like 400 episodes. That thing went on forever.
Yeah, I've got the box set. Like my parents got me the box set for Christmas one year, so that was cool.
Well, that's a thoughtful gift. My mom just usually gets me a bag of weed. Also a thoughtful gift.
Yeah, I mean,
Knows what I want.
generally, one of the main things that people give in New Zealand is this stuff that you obviously don't agree with because you say that it's not real money.
Yeah, your Monopoly money. Shh. Gonna give me greenbacks, dollar bills, y'all. Go boy on.
So, Christmas says, has Dusty heard of Dominion Tank Police? And I don't know what.
Never heard of it. Oh yeah, it's that show where they have the tanks and the police inside of the Dominion. Yeah, I love that.
And Christmas is that the earliest anime I've probably watched was Dragon Ball Z. Never really got into that. Even if I know who Vegeta and Piccolo are, I don't really know their stories. So
Yeah, I'm still learning about Pokemon. That's how far behind the times I am. There's like a Jigglypuff. Is that a thing? I don't know.
there's Jigglypuff in Pokemon.
Okay. I might be talking about South Park. I'm not even sure anymore. But
I mean,
before my time, I'm too old for all that shit.
yeah. So Christmas says Dominion Tank Police was one of the best 70s anime, and it was the one that created the Cat Girl.
I'm an 80s kid, so that was even before my time.
Yeah. I mean,
Old school. Way to date yourself, Christopher. Or Christopher.
you're gonna do what Godless Engineer does and mispronounce everyone's name.
I always do that anyway. Steph, I'm your nuts. I call it vegan instead of vegan. I can't pronounce anything.
Yeah. Like I actually do like your whole pronunciation of Stephen Mulnut's name. Because
And Milo Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce shit. It's too hard.
I mean,
Just say whatever comes out of my mouth.
yeah, when it comes to the flat Earth community, you've got people like, for Rod, one of the ones that I made up was for Rob Skiba. I call him Rob Skidbrains. So that's one that I made up. But then you've got Bob Noodle, who people call Boob Noodle. And although I do like Conspiracy Cat's version of it, and that's Bob Super Noodle Doodle. So
Like Dimpool instead of Tempool. Or Dimtool. Somebody says they came to and watch your videos and then they unsubscribe from you because you're on this video with me, the Cucka Dusty. My God, dude, why are you doing a video with me? I'm the worst. So everybody better cook.
Beta.
Beta.
I actually heard
That's me.
someone say that recently, and because I'm generally out of the loop with all the insults that the people on the right are coming up with, I heard this person say beta like that, and I was thinking, wait, I remember on the Gotcha Boys, yeah, it said something.
Jesse Lee Peterson. Beta. Amazing. Jesse Lee Peterson is this black, I guess I call him a radio host, vlogger or whatever, but he's totally racist against black people. He's basically like a white supremacist, but he's black.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I think he's just doing it for attention, but he's getting it. So he's making the money by being the Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah. Like, I find that, it's an interesting way to go about things might be to get the attention of all these racists and all that by sort of, speaking their language in a way, but then go around and turn it all on their head and debunk all the arguments, like all the like the whole white genocide argument and all that. That'd be an interesting sort of way to do.
Like trick them
Yeah,
into it, trick them into looking at the evidence.
yeah.
I thought about doing that before, being a Christian and then tricking people into looking at the evidence for evolution and stuff. But, I'd rather just yell at them, say curse words. Way funner.
Yeah. I mean, I have noticed a bit of a change in your videos. Like when it comes to some of your older videos, you're definitely more shouty, and these days you're more chilled and relaxed. And
Yeah, I'm old now. Got to settle down a little bit. Like back in the old days, being edgy for the sake of edgy was kind of the cool, funny thing. But now it's just annoying to me. There's too many people just trying to be edgy for no reason other than to be edgy, and the troll culture is taking over, and I find that's very annoying and unhelpful too. We're unable to have any kind of meaningful conversations anymore because there's people that think that every conversation has to be derailed with shit posts and trolling. So, we can never talk about anything important or involve our society because that's what's completely taken over. It's this toxic culture that we need to combat. So I've been kind of, trying to undo some of the bad I've done and help undo the toxic culture I've helped create. But it's a slow, arduous process, and I don't know how much
yeah.
progress I'm making, to be honest with you.
But it's good that there are people that are sort of helping. Like you've got people like H Bomber Guy, you've got Sean. Sean actually.
H Bomber on Jen.
Like when it comes to Sean, I actually like his sort of. He has a nice, calm way of explaining things. Like, and then he'll make sort of snide remarks, and yeah, it's an interesting sort of humor that I find.
Yeah, and they put out good information too, which is the important thing. But definitely, we need more people to fight back against the anti-SJWs and the conservatives who have pretty much taken over YouTube. And there's a few of them that done that, like Contra and Sean Jin, H Bomber Guy, Destiny, and there's only like 4 of them that I've really managed to put much of a dent in it. I'm trying, but since I'm so irrelevant these days, there's only so much I can do.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've found some others, but I'm just trying to think. Like, I think there's either someone called, I think it might be Thought Slime as one person that I don't think he's really fighting against the anti-SJWs, but he's more saying, oh, this is why we should have communism. Join us, comrades.
Comrades. More communism.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a communist. I guess it's possible that we could have a society in the future that would be better suited for communism, but it ain't the modern society. Yeah. So might as well try to, guide our society towards the best system for our current, era than pie in the sky bullshit.
The way that I see it is eventually we'll get to a point where eventually we'll get to the point where most people, or most jobs will be taken over by automation. And I think there'll still be a few jobs that automation can't do. Or
like YouTube celebrity.
Yeah, like...
How a robot gonna take my job? Bring it on, robot. You can't be as entertaining as Dusty, robot. I'll fucking body you, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't think a robot can really be the talent of a show, can it?
Nah, robot can't be no talent. I don't know nothing about that. So, but yeah, robot can drive my car and bring me my groceries and shit. That'd be cool.
Like,
I saw they got a blowjob machine now. That's pretty cool. It's like in sperm banks now, but eventually I'll have one in my home. I guess I already have one of those. It's called my girlfriend. But you know what I'm saying? I'll have like a machine. Well, she's kind of a machine. I'm gonna shut up now. Anyway, what was the question?
Yeah, I get the feeling that your girlfriend will probably want to have a word with you after.
I'll probably get a blowjob at this, so that's my guess.
Okay.
So,
but
on that note,
yeah. So I was just gonna make a point because one of the things that because when I first heard about UBI, I didn't know what UBI really was. I thought it was everyone gets the same amount of income sort of thing. And I was thinking that might be a good thing because it would definitely help solve some of the problems like the gender pay gap might get solved a little bit if everyone earned the same amount of income, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's inevitable. UBI, like you said, automation is going to take like 80% of the jobs, and so how are we going to buy goods and services if we don't have any fucking money? So clearly there's going to have to be something that's done about that. And UBI seems like the most common sense plan they're going to put forth, but it just depends on if our economy is going to have to collapse before that happens, or if we're actually going to implement it before that happens. Hopefully, we'll do it, ahead of time, and that won't happen,
Yeah,
but we'll see.
that's why when it came to the politicians that I would support for the American election, there were two that really caught my attention. First one was Bernie Sanders, right?
Bernie
And then
Sanders,
the second one was
Yang
yeah,
Gang.
it actually was. And so I've kind of the thing that really sort of made me say, okay, I'd prefer Bernie Sanders was the whole Andrew Yang spreading the stuff that you pointed out in videos and pointed out on Twitter.
Yeah, he says he ain't doing that, and I've seen some other evidence that maybe he's not 100% dog whistling or something. And I think it is better that all those racists that support him are supporting him instead
Yeah,
of Trump. So I think ultimately he's doing a good thing by getting them to jump on board with him. Even though I'm a little bit uncomfortable about the association, I think he is too. I think he's trying to disassociate himself with them, but at the same time, you know, it's like disassociating yourself from your voters, the people that are actually going to get you elected. It's You really want to do that? So I kind of understand the position he's in. But yeah, like I'm more open to him than I was
yeah.
before. I do think he's definitely a better choice for them to be supporting than Trump. So overall, it's a better
Yeah.
thing.
So I think that the best way to go about it would actually probably be if Bernie were to get elected this time, right? And then implement the basic needs like universal healthcare, uh, you know, good, getting students out of a whole lot of debt, all that kind of stuff, and then later
Yeah.
on implement something like universal basic income. Um,
Of eight years of Bernie, then 8 years of Yang.
yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. See how well Yang sticks in there. But I don't know. He's grown on me a bit. I've seen that he's tried harder to distance themselves from the white supremacists that are supporting him, and so at least I acknowledge his effort. And everybody deserves a pat on the back when they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. So
Yeah, and that's why I've always liked when someone says something and then sort of when someone has said something and then if they um and then they kind of I'm just trying to work out a good way to put it because and then and then they sort of say, look, it was wrong of me to say this, I shouldn't have said that. I wish people like Sam Harris would do that a lot more, to be honest.
yeah, egos. Your ego makes it hard for you to admit when you're wrong a lot of the times, or at least admit to the degree that you're wrong. And I think that he's had his ass kissed so much in his life, and he's continuously called a super genius, and he's kind of got that air about him that people just think he's infallible. That it makes it hard for him to just, yeah, I was fucking wrong. I shouldn't have said that. That was stupid. Here's why it is stupid. Here's why I'll never say that again. Own up to your mistakes and then try to use them as teachable moments for your audience is the best way to get redemption, in my opinion. And he has failed miserably on that on multiple occasions. But at the same time, I still don't. I still think mostly what he does is good, but there's definitely a lot of problematic errors. Actually, Steve Shives just made a video. We always hate on Steve Shives, but he made a really good video highlighting all the bad shit Sam Harris has been saying and the problems with it, and I think he nailed it.
But haven't people been saying that you're pretty much budget Steve Shives or something like that?
I don't have the budget, Steve Shives. I'm the talent. I'm like the upgraded version of Steve Shives, definitely. But yes, a lot of times says you're the new Steve Shives. You're the new Steve Shives. Okay, that works for me. I'm the new irrelevant Steve Shives. I'm just doing this for attention anyway, so it's all good to me.
Yeah, but yeah, I do agree with some stuff that Sam Harris says. Like when it comes to his views on when it comes to a few of his views on Muslims or Islam, to be precise, I think. Now I haven't looked into it too much, so I could be wrong, but I believe that he is more against the ideology of Islam rather than the people.
Yeah, I think a big part of the problem people have with him is his criticism is kind of one sided. Like he'll call Muslims out for things that he won't call white supremacists out for, and he'll like overemphasize the Muslim problem and underemphasize other problems with other races and stuff, where it seems like he's mostly targeting people for, I don't want to say just because they're brown or whatever, but that's kind of what people sort of believe after a while, especially when he has all these people on that support the IQ question, quote
Yeah.
unquote, race realism and whatnot. It just kind of leaves a bad taste in people's mouths that he doesn't seem to be even across the board on these things.
To me, like I've thought about race realism, and for me to accept the sort of whole ideas of race realism, I'd have to accept that people like that blonde people are their own race, that gingers are their own race, because what's really the difference between having different skin color to someone than having a different hair color,
Yeah, there's no real genetic answer to that. Like, there's not. If you have these genetic markers, you're considered black. If you have these particular genetic markers and you don't have these, you're considered white. It's not a real good answer. It's mainly just cosmetic, it seems like. And even like the American Anthropological Association, which is the number one scientific body in the world that studies this question, has said that race is mostly a social construct. And if it's mostly a social construct, then it's not a very useful tool in classification, um, especially like a biological classification. And it has minor uses, like for like sickle cell anemia and stuff like that, or if you're trying to identify the race of a body from bones and stuff. But as far as IQ and grouping everybody together based on this set of criteria, just like they said, it's not a useful way to do it.
And I do understand that there are some differences between different sorts of people, but I don't think that.
It's mainly geographical.
I watched a brilliant video by Sean, which basically said something that I've been saying for a long time, and when it comes to black people having a lower IQ than white people, it's because that black people are usually worse off than white people. You know?
Well, yeah, one of the number one predictors of whether you'll have a good life in the future or whether you'll be successful or not is your family's income, the family you start off on, your monetary situation. And black people on average have 10 times less wealth in America than white people do because of a history of oppression that's caused them to have less inherited wealth than white people. And so it's a snowball effect that adds up generation after generation after generation and gives them huge deficits that they've yet to be able to overcome.
And then he also brings up Asian people and how they get higher. They tend to have higher IQs than white people, and the thing with that is the people that they're testing have had the money to go over to America, and so of course they're gonna have, if they've got more money to be able to move to America, then of course they're gonna have higher IQ. They're gonna be able to afford better education and all that kind of stuff. So
they pick the cream of the crop to bring over here. But also, not only that, it's a completely different culture. They don't have the same cultural deficits that have been caused by hundreds of years of a snowball effect of oppression against one particular group of people. They just have absolutely not experienced that. Like, even like they've done studies that show like people that have black sounding names have to send out 50% more resumes just to get the same amount of job callbacks as people with regular sounding names, and like people with Asian names don't have to suffer through that kind of oppression, kind of discrimination.
Yeah.
So even on a micro level, it's not really the same playing field.
yeah, so I think that when it comes to this sort of stuff, it would be really hard to sort of get everything to equal because a lot of it is really hard to sort of fix a problem that's been growing for hundreds of years. So
That's true. You basically just have to challenge people and make them attack their own biases. I think everybody's racist. Like, that's my opinion. I think racism is on a spectrum, and everybody's born racist because it's part of our societal evolution. It's tribalism, which is a survival mechanism that helps us group together and survive against other people for resources when resources are limited. So if you have everybody that's racist, it's basically just a matter of the degree that everybody's racist, and you overcome racism by figuring out what your biases are and then eliminating those biases. And that's something I work on hard. Like, I find racist biases all the time that I'm like, okay, well, that's clearly one of your biases, so eliminate that and you become a little less racist. And I think basically how we end this problem, we just have to continue to call it out and hopefully make people see their biases and want to
well, I find that sometimes you can be a little. Yeah, I find that sometimes. Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what I was going to say. Yeah, so I find that you're generally not born racist. It's generally you're actually sorted into or you're told of these groups existing, right? And so if you identify more with let's say a white group, then you're going to obviously be more prejudiced against people that aren't in that group. I think that it's not so much about race; it's more about group bias rather than
It's
yeah,
tribalism. What is it? And you are inherently born tribalistic a little bit. Like babies prefer their own skin color than they do other colors. And like I was watching tonight where this baby has this deformation where his arm is like really short over here. And obviously he's been looking at that deformation and seeing his parents don't have that deformation. And so he was introduced to like an adult who had the same exact arm deformation, and he immediately had a bond with that adult because he saw that they were similar, you know. So we do have, you know, kind of an inherent ability to recognize sameness and want to unite with
yeah,
that, which is obviously a very important survival mechanism for like herd mentality, but definitely something that can be easily overcome and should be overcome as long as you train your
yeah.
biases.
Like in primary school, one of my best friends was an Indian girl, so you know. uh,
My first girlfriend was an Indian girl. We used to sit around and watch Bollywood movies, then have sex afterwards. It was amazing. But then she left me for a guy who was 6'6". So fuck her. God
was
damn
that
it.
the hairy arm girlfriend that you?
Hey, hurry up, girlfriend. Hell yeah. I miss her though. She was nice. But then she's a bitch for like breaking up with me for a tall dude. So fuck tall dudes. Fuck her.
Yeah,
But she was
I
cool.
don't like tall people. I'm
They're the
yeah, I'm
worst.
probably not considered that tall. Like apparently 6 foot is considered tall and a good height, but I'm like six. No, I'm. Oh, I wish I was six. I'm 5'10" or something like that.
5'10", tall enough. Still too tall for me. I'm at like 5'8", so. But in my tall shoes, I'm 5'10", so that
Yeah,
counts. It all counts. Every inch adds up.
yeah. But
Oh, Firefly. Firefly is awesome. Farscape and Lex. I like Farscape. I didn't like Lex very much, but Farscape was cool. Sorry, I'm reading your
oh yeah,
chats here.
I've seen a few. Apparently Elizabeth is 6'6". This person in the chat.
I don't believe you. Liar. 6'5". All you some lying motherfuckers. Shorts where it's at. Put me in your pocket. Take me home. Take me with your mama.
Yeah, being short does have its benefits, to be honest.
Like what?
Um, like
That's what I thought.
it's more
Hesitation.
it's more of benefits in the bedroom. So
All right. I don't know what those are, but that sounds good. I guess my hands are small for fisting. I guess that's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, I gotta run. I think I gotta get ready for my own show.
yeah,
So
that
it's already been 2
yeah.
hours.
I do want to bring up one last thing before you go,
All right, one
and
last
that
thing before I go.
so
Get me, nail me
you
with
did
something.
restart your podcast, right? And that's what you're going to
Hells
be
yeah, it's awesome.
going.
Greatest podcast ever. Be sure to tune in at 8 o'clock tonight p.m. Central Time, 9 Eastern, for the greatest show you will ever witness in your entire existence.
But I'm just wondering if you're ever going to consider bringing it back, if any of your other shows, like Stories of Stupidity was one that I remember. You only did like one episode of that.
Yeah, like I might. I'm gonna bring back regular videos, shorter videos eventually after I build up my podcast. That's on the agenda, but I'm just so lazy that doing 2 long shows a week is really taking up all my time right
And
now.
that's fair enough.
I'm still planning on getting back into it. Yeah, it's hard to do like 4 hours of content a week, especially when you're only doing about 5 minutes of content a week before. So definitely an increase in content. But I quit drinking. I used to be like a big time drunk, and so I haven't had a drink in like 4 months. So I'm doing a lot better than I was.
Because there was quite a few shows like that you've only done one episode of, like Darwin the Cat.
Yeah, I get bored really easily. I'm like, okay, I did that. Now I want to try something else.
Yeah.
I always want to push the envelope and try new things continuously.
And there was also the Smiths, where you hung out with your family for a bit, and then
I did hang out with my family for a bit, but like they're all awful now. So I guess my sister Layla's pretty cool, but then my wife, I got divorced from her, so she can't be in it anymore. And then my other sister's like a drunk, so she's no fun. And so, I don't have a cool enough family for that. I need more of a Kardashians type family.
yeah. But anyway, it was good having you on. So, um,
It was good to be on. I
got to
appreciate
make.
it.
I'll make sure everyone, everyone in the chat, you should go check out Dusty's channel. He does some good stuff, and
I'm amazing.
uh,
/Cult of Dusty on the YouTubes. Go check it out.
even
Change
though
your
you're
life.
irrelevant, yeah.
I am irrelevant. That is true. Totally irrelevant. But at the same time, you might be mildly entertained for seconds.
Well-
so
You're irrelevant, but you are the talent. So
I am. I'm an irrelevant
Yeah.
talent. Just greatest thing could ever possibly be.
and yes, Dusty does have a.
Yes, I have better frame rate on my
Yeah,
channel.
I don't.
I don't know. I think it's because you're in New Zealand or something, so it's not tracking very well. But my channel, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the reason why. but yeah, hopefully you can get a new PC. It might be your PC as well. So
I don't know. I'm not like this on my show. My show doesn't lag at all. It doesn't seem like. Only when I'm doing guests and stuff. So yeah, I probably need more RAM or something.
yeah, or just build a new PC completely if you get enough money.
That's true. Subscribe to me.
Yeah.
Send me money. Help me buy a new computer. Like the bum I am.
And I think that's a good note to end it on. So I'll just go to the OBSs. So leave a like and subscribe if you liked that video or stream. Be sure to go and check out Dusty's channel and watch his stuff.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Check me out. Do it.
And if you want to chat with me, I've got a link to my Discord in the description. So that's always fun.
Plan a walk. Subscribe to
Hey, you got my name right.
It's pretty easy.
I mean, God.
It's not like Stefan Nuts.
Yeah, but Godless Engineer has trouble with pronouncing my name, so.
Fucking godless engineer. Work it out, dude. You're an engineer. I expect better out of you. Do it. Subscribe to Dusty.
Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching.
Love you. Logic.